Hello everybody, hope everyone is doing great. Today I was going to draw a Christmas fox. It will be great as a Christmas card or a little gift or just something fun to draw yourself. The fox I draw is a very simplified fox. You can go as realistic or stylised as you want. I've gone very simple. Well, not very simple, but simple enough. The head is basically a semicircle with two triangles, and you don't really see the body because I've done the paws. I'll speed through the majority of the
drawing the eyes for this fox. I struggle with eyes.
It's really up to you how you want to draw the fox, this style. You might like it, you might not.
Too small, too human,
and I will catch up with you when I come to
I could not get them right. In the end, I'm sort of happy, okay with the eyes. They're a little bit too human for my liking and a little bit too big, but it was the best I could get. It was just one of those days.
Okay, zoomed you in for the painting, but I go over all the ready orange in a pale wash, and then with a concentrated orange I'll then make tiny little dashes for the fur, and I do that all over the fox. And then again I can go in after that with an even darker colour, because around the eyes and the nose the fur there is even darker. And I also do it where, I don't know what you'd call it in a fox, the shoulders, just so that it seems like the shoulders are giving some shade from the face. Again, I'll speed up through the dashes, as I'm sure watching me do tiny little brush strokes is not the most interesting YouTube video. So here's where I go in and start darkening up some areas of the fur, add a bit of shade and light. I think it gives quite a nice effect as well. It's a really simple way of doing fur, but it gives a variance of colours, and I think it makes it look a bit more detailed than it really is. Make sure to darken around the eyes and the nose, as this is where the shade will be created from the face. Just gives your fox a little bit more depth. Also just makes the painting a bit more interesting, having the different shade and light. So with the white fur, I made a very light shade mix with Payne's Grey and a brown, really diluted, and I didn't do dashes all over it. Instead, some bigger sections, broader strokes, so that it would look more like clumps of hair, with then shadow and shade underneath. Again, really simple, but I do think it's quite effective. The paws are much easier. I just went around the edges and then pulled the paint in so that it's darkest around the edge, lightest in the middle, just to give a bit of dimension and depth to the paws, but in a simple way. So now onto the eyes. I have to admit, I feel like I made my fox eyes a bit too human. I still think it's cute, but it's possibly a little bit more human than I would have liked for it to be. We used to have quite a few foxes where I lived, and even at my school there was a fox den at the very edge of the school bounds. The school bounds was sort of like trees, a mini little wood, and there's a little fox den in there. We weren't allowed in. They didn't want us to disturb the foxes. But sometimes if you came early in the morning for like before school club, you could spot a few. It was very exciting to little primary school age children. Again, I did the fox eyes quite simple, so just 2 circles basically. A big black circle with just a brown, like warm brown outline, and then I just did 2 specks of light within the eye as well, just to try and give it a bit of a cutesy look. Now onto the nose, and I feel like the nose is where this painting actually comes together a little. I think before it has the nose, you don't really understand that shape in the middle and it looks a bit odd. Whereas once the nose there, I think the rest of the face begins to make sense. At the moment, our little fox doesn't have ears, and we will rectify that. It does make the little fox look a little bit unusual at the moment, but we'll get there. So now for the whites of the eye, which I never actually wiped, so I used a diluted shadow mix for this. I probably could have gone more diluted looking back, but I think it gives a better effect than leaving that space white. Oh, I love this bit, giving the fox a little smile. I do really think this helps to just making the fox a little cute, a little friendly. We all want a friendly fox. For the ears, I mainly just did long thin brush strokes in different colours to try and suggest light and shade. This isn't detailed or realistic. I just wanted enough there so that your eye understood what was going on. If you look at references, I'm sure it will be explained or shown much better than what I've done. And at the moment what I'm doing probably doesn't make sense, but I add in more colours. So these at the moment are the inner bits, the darkest bit, if that makes sense. Trying to paint for YouTube I really struggle with, because I'm the type of person that leans over the art. My face is right there in front of it. I turn it round all the time and I'm very fidgety, I suppose. And I have to try and keep it in one spot, or as close as one spot as I can, and I have to admit I really struggle with that. I'm assuming there's lots of people like that. I don't know how the big YouTubers do it, where it's in one spot the entire time and then they end up with this amazing artwork. Very impressive. Now on to the leaves. Originally I sort of wanted to do this fox as if he was peeking out of a bush. Then I realised I'd done my fox just a little bit too big for that. So in the end I just decided to add some foliage around him. I added in some holly, and I love painting holly because it's just so simple but quite effective, because I just draw the outline and then a centre line and draw my paint into that centre line, but I'll keep a white space at the centre line,
and I just think it gives a really nice indication of shine. You'll see what I mean as I paint it, because I probably didn't explain that well. I also just love this green colour. I would paint with this green colour every day. So yeah, if you can see here, I leave a very faint white line in the middle, just to, again, add a bit of dimension, shade and light, make the leaf look less flat. And of course with holly we have to add in berries, and my berries are very simple. It's an odd sentence to say. I just drew a circle, I leave again a little white dot at the top for a bit of shine. Really simple, but I think it's quite effective, and I do just love that red and that green together. Then next I wanted to add a mistletoe style plant. So I just, to be honest, googled some references and drew a very simple version of that. Just with a light green, and then in the centre of the leaves I added a bit more yellow. It's what the images looked like, so it's what I tried to replicate. I did notice the first green I used wasn't really light enough, so I tried to blend it in. Not sure how effectively I blended it in, but I tried my best. I decided it wasn't really full enough at this point, and I didn't know what other leaves to do, so I just decided if I add in just some sprig foliage, I'm not sure what this would be called, but just to make it look a bit fuller. I drew this before I started work in the morning. I work from home, and I have on one side a little art desk and on the other side my office desk. And it put me in a very nice Christmassy mood at 6 in the morning on a cold November morning. It was a nice way to start the day. So I went in with coloured pencils, which is what I do a lot, just to maybe help some blends, or even just to get a finer point, as I actually don't own many fine point brushes. It's definitely something I'm lacking, and I think sometimes I can get a bit of a richer, deeper colour that way. But this is the final piece. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down below. Thank you so much. Have a great day.